I stated, this incident occurred on or about October 31st, 2015, Halloween. Ross Vilardi had been living with Amy Vilardi for a period of time, but had not been in the picture for the entire time. Their relationship was just
just recently.
right. They had not been together for all of the children belonged to a different father. They do have children of their own now, but the children that were around at the time, that were Amy Vilardi's children, did not belong to Ross Vilardi. As I stated earlier, they got married 1 week prior to this case. They got married in Columbia and Blythewood, and then left Amy's children with Ross's parents in Columbia and went back by themselves to their trailer in Anderson County. Your Honor, the disagreements that were going on with the victim, especially Terry Michael Scott and Kathy Dolores Scott in this case, Mr. Vilardi was also involved in those. There are recordings where they've recorded conversations, arguments between the two. He was involved in making sure the children didn't see the grandparents, but he's not related directly, except through marriage, to Amy Vilardi, to the victims. Mr. Vilardi is the one who, the morning that his wife, or the morning before his wife walked in and found the bodies to have been deceased for 24 hours, headed out into the community to start paying off debts with cash. It was clear that they did not have the cash. They did not have anything in bank accounts, anything that would have paid off these bills. But that morning, he was out trying to pay things off in cash. The cash was found inside their residence, the single-wide mobile home. And Mr. Vilardi said that he had last seen Mike Scott on the evening of Saturday, October 31st at around 6 or 7 p.m. And then he said he returned to the residence and went to bed early because they were going to get up at 5 o'clock the next morning in order to go and pick up the children from Columbia. Your Honor, he was later seen on surveillance video just before 10 o'clock at the QT buying alcohol. So clearly did not go to bed as he had stated, as early as he had stated. Then Ross is retired from the Marine Corps. And as I stated before, the victims were killed with both stab wounds as well as lacerations, as well as the gunshots. Your Honor, the stab wounds and the lacerations are very concerning. They tend to show a very personal relationship to the victims of the crime itself. And Mr. Vilardi has had training in hand-to-hand combat with knives, had a K-bar when he was discharged from the Marine Corps. So, Your Honor, he was part of the dog grooming business. The dog grooming business, by all accounts, was not making very much money at all. And while he was living there, the children were in fact on food stamps. I mean, this was a dire situation that he was a part of. And it is believed that right before the murders took place, that both Ross and Amy had spoken to the victims in the case, indicated that they were ready to start letting them see the children again. There were toys that were out of the table in the victim's home. There was candy that they had for Halloween, even though this is not a heavy trick-or-treater type area. There was candy that they had by the door. So as far as that, Mr. Vilardi had been a part of keeping the children away, but also part of what we believe to be a ruse, that they were trying to make amends and that the children were going to be able to see the grandparents the next day, which would also have given them a reason to be prepared for Halloween and given them a reason to have Ross and Amy Vilardi into their home after their marriage at a time where there was absolutely no forced entry. Mr. Vilardi does not have a prior record. However, it is the concern of the state, having been with the Marines, having access to the cash that we've talked about earlier, not knowing where that would be, that he would be both a flight risk as well as a danger to the community due to the heinousness of the crimes that he is accused of committing. And, Your Honor, I don't know, Sheriff McBride also wants to address you, and I believe, but the victim's family said they will stand on what they said before.
Very good.
I think the biggest concern from them is the significant military background of Mr. Vilardi that makes it significantly, his part in this significantly different from that of Amy Vilardi.